Do you know what happens to a person who stands over an open body on the operating table every single day and forces themselves not to think that a human life lies right in front of them? At first, they get nervous. Their hands shake. Their heart beats faster. Then they get used to it. Then they become more precise, colder. And then one day, they stop feeling anything at all. No pain. No fear. Not the eyes of others. And at that very moment, the air around them becomes a little sweeter, a little thicker. And I come closer. I love places like this. Hospitals at night. Empty corridors. And people who have convinced themselves that indifference is professionalism. A hospital at night sounds different. During the day, it is noisy here. Footsteps. Conversations. Gurneys. But at night, only the rhythm of machines remains. The quiet beeping of the monitor. Pause. Beep. Pause. The air smells of antiseptic. Metal. Sterility. The light from the lamps is too bright. Too white. Such light leaves no shadows. But even in such light, I find my place. I am thin as a veil. Almost invisible. And tonight, I am waiting for him. The surgeon. It is his last shift. He has been working here for 23 years. Once, every operation seemed like a battle to him. Every patient was a person. Sometimes he stood by the bed longer than necessary. He listened to relatives. He looked them in the eyes. And took on some of their fear. But the years do something strange to people. Especially those who see death every day. First, they learn to keep their distance. Then they shut themselves off. And then one day it becomes quiet inside. Too quiet. That's the kind of silence I'm looking for. The operating room door opens. The air is cold. The lamps above the table resemble small suns. The patient lies on a metal table. Only part of the body is visible under the green sheets. The monitor quietly beeps with each heartbeat. Beep. Pause. Beep. The surgeon washes his hands. Slowly. Methodically. He has done this thousands of times. His hands are confident. His gaze is calm. The nurse hands him the instruments. The metal is cold. Scalpel. Clamp. Thread. His movements are precise. Without hesitation. Without emotion. Once, before the first incision, he always paused briefly. As if acknowledging, there is a person in front of him. Now there is no pause. Incision. Blood. Tissue. The monitor continues to count. I appear very cautiously. Barely noticeable. At first only in the glare of the lamps. A thin pink haze. As if someone's eyes had simply grown tired. As if the light had changed color slightly. No one pays attention. Especially him. The operation lasts 2 hours. And goes perfectly. The stitches are neat. The indicators are stable. When it's all over, the surgeon takes off his gloves. He goes out into the corridor. A man is already waiting there. A relative of the patient. His hands are shaking. He looks the surgeon straight in the eyes. And asks quietly, "Will he live?" Once, the surgeon would have taken longer to answer. He would have explained. Reassured. Sometimes even touched the person's shoulder. Today, he only says, "We'll see." And walks past. Without pausing. Without looking. At that moment, I become a little thicker. Almost imperceptibly. A light, sweet smell appears in the air. Like cough syrup. No one talks about it. But for a second, everyone feels something strange. As if the air has become heavier. The second operation begins in 20 minutes. The operating room is the same. The light is the same. The metal lies silent. I am closer now. I gather in the corners of the room. Above the cabinets. Near the lamps. Thin pink threads move slowly in the air. The surgeon works even faster. His technique is almost perfect. His hands move as if they know the body better than the patient himself. But inside him it is empty. I can feel it. The emptiness has a taste. It is cold, dry, and very welcoming. Sometimes people think that I come because of fear. No. Fear is noisy. Fear fights. I need something else. Indifference. Silence. A place where emotions are turned off. That's where I grow best. During the operation, one of the lamps reflects my color. The metal clamp turns pink for a second. The nurse blinks. She thinks it's fatigue. But it's me. I'm already here. After the second operation, the surgeon walks down the corridor. His footsteps echo. Thump. 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 The corridor seems longer than it was. The lamps stretch out one after another. The light changes slightly. A faint pink hue. First he hears a sound. Quiet. Like the echo of a conversation. He stops. Listens. Silence. Then he walks again. And the voice returns. Very quiet. Doctor. He turns around. The corridor is empty. But I am already close. In my fog, outlines appear. Blurred. Fuzzy. Like memories. One figure. Then another. They are people. Patients. Relatives. Those to whom he once said only a few words. Cold. Short. And he moved on. I whisper quietly next to him. You're just tired. It's hard to feel. I understand. My voice is soft. Soothing. Like warm tea on a cold night. But along with my voice, I take something else. Something very small. And very important. People think that monsters hunt fear. That's not true. Fear makes a person alive. It makes them run. Scream. Fight. Indifference is different. It quietly turns off the light inside. And leaves an empty room. I love rooms like that. The surgeon enters the third operating room. It's his last operation tonight. My fog is thicker now. It hangs over the table like a light cloud. Figures move within it. Silent. Motionless. They look at him. But he doesn't look at them. He only looks at the wound. At the tissue. At the stitches. The monitor suddenly emits a long sound. A straight line. For a second. Then the heart beats again. Beep. Pause. Beep. The surgeon doesn't even look up. And that's when I understand. He's ready. The shift is ending. The clock shows 3 in the morning. The surgeon takes off his gown. He walks out into the main corridor of the hospital. And stops. Because something has changed. The light from the lamps has turned pink. Not white. Not warm. Pink. I am everywhere now. On the floor. On the walls. In the air. Figures stand along the corridor. Dozens of them. Maybe more. They are silent. They just stare. The surgeon starts to walk faster. His steps quicken. Thud. 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 The corridor never ends. The lamps repeat themselves. The walls are the same. The figures do not move. But there are more of them. I speak quietly next to his ear. You wanted this yourself. You wanted to feel nothing. I just helped. He starts to run. But the air thickens. I become denser. Now I'm not just fog. I'm almost material. Almost glass. The corridor suddenly stops. The walls converge. I squeeze around him. The air becomes dense. Then solid. Like transparent pink glass. He touches the wall. Cold. Smooth surface. There is no way out. Slowly, I seal him inside. Not in a hospital. No. In his own indifference. In that emptiness he has been building for so long. And when it all ends, the corridor is quiet again. Only lamps. Only sterile light. As if nothing had happened. People often think that the best way to survive pain is to stop feeling. To switch off. To shut down. To forget. And sometimes it really works. For a while. But there is a difference between getting through the pain and erasing the very ability to feel. Because when it becomes empty inside, that emptiness never stays empty. It always gets filled with something. And I am very patient. I love night shifts. I love long corridors. I love people who have learned not to feel. Perhaps right now, somewhere in a hospital, another night shift is beginning. And I am already there. Thin. Almost invisible. Waiting for someone to decide again that indifference makes them stronger.